Hi there. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Sandy?
Good. This is Chicks Talking Pics, and you're here with Sandy Zelasco and
Jenny Wolf.
Jenny Wolf. And we're here to discuss three images today. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, we welcome you and would like to say thank you for tuning in. And we have got a little bit of a show for you today, and we're going to really talk about one of my images that I am having total trouble with. So you may like to really listen to this one because Jenny's going to just give me her full thoughts on this. So here we go. We're going to get started. All right. Our first image here. I don't believe Kurt is he. I don't know if he asked me not to say his name or not. So I'll just say the first name. So hi. This is an image sent in, and I'm going to give this one to Jenny first, and she's going to start our review today.
Okay. One of the things that I noticed first about this is the leading lines. You have kind of this wash that's going through the desert, and it's got an S curve leading you towards that back hill. And that's somewhat interesting. One of the thing, and I also, it's nice that there's some clouds in the sky, gives a little contrast. One of the things about this when you're going black and white is to be really cognizant of your tonal values, because this is all very gray. There's no true whites or true blacks. And just my personal preference is having a lot of contrast in black and white images. And I think there's a lot of potential here if you darken down some of the sides and then highlight that the course of the where there would be water if it was, it's a wash if it was raining, leading towards that mountain in the back. Yeah, I think it just needs some more work as to direct the eye of the viewer to what you really want them to see about it. You have anything to add, Sandy?
Yeah, I do. You're right on. It's just the tonal value is not where it needs to be. There is no whites in this, which I think you could pull out of the top portion of the that seam and the rock that you can see up there. That would be quite interesting if we had more contrast in the whole image, and especially up in that area. I see a lot of the edges where I would definitely go in and either crop a little more or tone down or clone out some of the things, like the bottom right hand corner with those little tiny white rocks. Yeah, exactly. Jenny's marking those for me. And then if you come across the bottom, there's another little kind of elongated white rock or colored. And then over on the left hand side, you've just touched one of the other maybe flows of mud that are coming out that I think is, when I look at the whole picture, it pulls my eye over there. It's not white, but it's just a little tiny. Yeah, exactly. That bugs me a bit. But I do like that you've got the flow coming in from the bottom left corner, and it leads your eye right into the frame. Again, I'd like to see a lot more contrast, or the tones worked on a little bit in the image. I want to know what that little bush is back there, right kind of smack dab in the middle. Kind of interesting. Yeah, exactly. It kind of blends with the background. I think if maybe, I don't know if you could have put that in a different position, but I think you could work on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my thoughts also.
Yeah, I think you could add a lot more drama to this with some selective post-processing.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, let's go on to our next image. And I'll start with this one. right off the bat, almost in the center of the image, I noticed the halos that are around the rocks, and that's probably due to the post-processing that you did in the image. Pardon me, Jenny?
It's around all these
Yeah,
rocks.
it's around all the rocks. There's like this little halo coming around those rocks. Now it doesn't, we don't see it in the rest of the image. Even the upper rocks are maybe,
There's
just a
some
little bit.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I wonder what the story is on this image. So if I can't tell the story, I kind of wonder what the viewer's trying to relate to me. I like the shapes. I like the fact that some are vertical and, got a horizontal shape in front, but I'm wondering if you could get tighter on that horizontal shape and make it more of a statement in your image, and then have those rocks, on in the background, kind of fall off a little bit. I wonder if that can be done. I don't know. I would have to be there to shoot this. As far as processing it, I think you've done a much better job in this image. Jenny?
Yeah, the tonal values are much better. You just have to watch when you push it that you don't get those halo artifacts showing up, because when judges see the halos, we just go on to the next one. As far as continuing what, excuse me, what Sandy was saying, like maybe if you changed your point of view and got on the ground, you could bring more prominence to that rock that's on the bottom. And the sky is really interesting in this, but we're not seeing a lot of it. So, we're used to standing at our height and looking at the world that way. But sometimes if you just get on your knees or get up on something high, you can change your view and get a whole different perspective, which will then, give your viewers something different to look at.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah, that's good. I think there's a couple of things in here that could be taken out or cloned out also, if the competition allows for it, or if if you're going to put it on your wall, nobody will ever know. But that on the right hand side, in that little negative space there of the sand, there's that white rock that kind of bothers me. Yeah, that one, and maybe the little one next to it. Just being picky. Those are pretty rocks too. But, yeah, I really would like to see this done with a wider lens and get down on the ground and shoot up into it, and maybe include a little more of that sky. Personal preferences. These are subjective comments from Jenny and I. So definitely, take that, learn from it, or not. Maybe you'll put it in a competition just like it is, and the judge that's judging that competition will love it, and have nothing negative to say about it. But we're trying to help you out for our point of view, and from the judging we've done in the past, what we'd like for you to see or hear. All right. Okay, so the one image, oh my gosh, here we go. This was an image that I took and I brought it up because yesterday or Sunday was Super Bowl. And so, everybody was posting their Super Owl pictures, and I've always loved this image, but I worked on it a couple times and felt I don't know, it was really one I would not share with anyone. So I got some courage and I went back in and processed it a little bit more. And then I asked Jenny if she'd tell me her thoughts on it. So Jenny's going to share those thoughts right now.
Okay, so you're being courageous and sharing your image. Good. Yeah, I love the color palette in this. It says fall. There's a few leaves, there's some nice little spots of color in the back. And I love the rim light that we have on the owl. And you can tell it's rim light and not halos, because there's actually light hitting the feathers, in these areas. It's not a halo that's around the object, it's light hitting the object and glowing. some of the things I found distracting are at the bottom of the image, all of these branches. And a lot of that, I think if you just cropped it, you get rid of all of that. And I mean, if you don't mind a square crop, it kind of puts the owl in a completely different position. But it gets rid of all of that stuff at the bottom that's busy and distracting. Let's see, let's clear that out. Get rid of my line there. Doesn't want to get rid of it.
And you know, Jenny, I never thought about cropping it. It happens to the best of us, right? But I love that suggestion.
And
Oh, well.
I didn't notice it when I first looked at it, but there's this branch right here coming down, that little twig. And now that I've seen it, I can't.
Above.
Yeah.
Above the owl. Yep.
Yeah. And it's pointing at it, but it's kind of distracting.
I agree.
I can't get rid of that other green line, but so yeah, I think just some of the distracting elements. I mean, the owl's sharp, it's got focus. I love the posture with the feathers all fluffed up and, you know, looking like he has some attitude. But
so great. I really appreciate that. And I want to tell viewers that I did use the Orton effect on this image. Of course, I didn't put it on the owl. And if you don't know what that is, just do a Google search on it. Usually it's done with landscape photos, but I've been lately trying it with some of my wildlife images. So if anybody was interested in that, why that branch is so blurry in front.
okay.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, I appreciate that. And I really welcome anybody else who has thoughts on this image to put it in on our Facebook page and add to the conversation. We really would love to hear from everybody. So please, you're not going to hurt my feelings because I still think this is messy. This image is messy. And I don't know if I'll ever use it or print it or anything, but I thought I'd throw it in there because of Super Owl Sunday. So, all righty, we'll go on and close the show for today. If you're interested in submitting to get your image in a queue, we ask you to send your files JPEG and size them 1920 on the longest side. If you want to include the metadata, that's great. We can always use that information in a show to help others that are looking at your images, and send them to chickstalkingpics@gmail.com. And we'd be glad to get them into one of our episodes. I know the San Diego Fair is coming up real soon. Deadline is April 15th. And so if you want any feedback on any images you might be entering into the fair, get them to us right away because we've got a couple of episodes out, and by the time we get to yours, there may not be enough time for you to make the changes. So, and Jenny wants to remind us.
So go to YouTube, click the subscribe button and hit the little bell that says all, and you will get notified when we post new episodes, which we try and do every 2 weeks.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in today. And hope you subscribe and like our YouTube channel, and then go leave messages at our Facebook page, Chicks Talking Pics. Thanks, Jenny.
Bye.
See you next week.